So the final part of the research methods topic is looking at the implications of psychological research on the economy. So what do we mean by the words implications? Well, what we mean is what we learn from psychological research and psychological research influence. How does it affect, how does it benefit, or how does it devalue economic prosperity? So, for example, how does it help reduce costs for the NHS? How does it increase people getting back to work? Any impact that it has on the economy would be included in this particular topic. And there's absolutely tons of different things you could talk about. And I'm going to give you maybe 3 or 4 different things you could bring into an exam, but we're going to try and discuss a few more in a classroom lesson as well. So one way that psychology and psychological research can impact the economy is through the development of treatments for mental illness. It's been found that days off work and absence from work can cost the economy up to £15 billion a year. And a recent government report has shown that a third of all absences is actually due to mild or moderate mental illnesses, or mental disorders, things such as depression, stress and anxiety, and that was published in the Telegraph in 2014. So it's a very recent bit of research, which is brilliant to bring into your exam. So it's costing the government £15 billion a year for people being days of work, and a third of those absences, so you could possibly say about £5 billion worth of cost to the economy, is due to mental disorders. So obviously we could link this to what we studied in abnormality, and with the treatments such as drugs, such as BZs, antidepressants, systematic desensitization to treat phobias, all of these different treatments that you've learnt about are used to help people manage their condition effectively and help them return to work. And if people can help return to work, then it could end up boosting the economy. So all those treatments that we learned about during the abnormality unit can be used to boost the economy in that way. Get people to deal with their depression, their stress, their anxiety, and get them back into work. Let's have some research into the role of the father. Okay, and we'll be looking at the role of the father in the next topic that we're doing in a couple of weeks' time when we move on to attachment. And what we found is that in the past, childcare has always been done by the role of the mother. Okay, it's been seen as the role of the mother. That's their job. The man's job is to go out, be the breadwinner, bring the money home. But research has highlighted the importance of a child developing multiple attachments. So not just with the mother, but with father, grandfather, uncles, aunties, etc. And the father is one of the main secondary attachments that a child will develop. And it's shown that both parents are actually capable of providing emotional support to the child. So in the past, it's always been the role of the mother. But recent research has shown that the father can also give adequate emotional support to a child in order for it to develop as it would as if the mother was just looking after it. So what that means is that it gives families a more flexible working arrangement. So usually it'd be the mother taking a year off work when a baby is born. But there's been recent legislation that means now the mother and father can split that time up between them. So all of that is down to attachment research into the role of the father. And what this means now that parents are going to be more equipped to maximise their family income. It might be that the mother earns more money, but in the past the mother would usually be the one taking the time off work to look after the child. But now the father can take more time off to look after the child. So the family can maximise their income, and also because the mother's got a higher earning potential, might have a more important job in regards to the economy, they'll be able to effectively contribute to the economy more as well. So all the research into the role of the father has helped families maybe divide up their time spent with the child, spend the time that parents spend with maternity and paternity leave, in order to help contribute to the economy more effectively. So you would have already done the memory topic, and cognitive interviews have been a key finding and advancement in eyewitness testimony research. So you should know what cognitive interviews are now and how they're conducted and what the main aim of them is. And they're all aimed to improve the accuracy of information collected from eyewitnesses. And how does this benefit the economy? Well, it reduces the expenses on wrongful arrests. If we can get more accurate information from witnesses, then we're far more capable of making correct arrests and therefore not wasting money and police time pursuing avenues that maybe won't lead to a correct arrest. So at the moment we're living in an ageing population. What I mean by that is that the percentage of people over the age of 65 is increasing. So the proportion of people over 65 is increasing within our population. And the Macron report recently showed that because we've got an ageing population, psychologists are turning their attention to the issue of dementia. Obviously, as you age, dementia becomes an increasing problem. Which also costs the NHS an awful lot of money. So what psychologists have done is they've looked at drug treatments in comparison to psychological treatments. And they found that drug treatments provide a much greater economic gain than psychological therapies. Both are very effective in what they're doing. Obviously, dementia is not completely treatable, but it can help. They can both help slow down the process of dementia. And they can both produce similar benefits to a patient. But medication is far, far cheaper. So psychological treatments such as therapies can be far more expensive. And then psychologists have found that drug treatments are just as effective, but cost an awful lot less money. What that means is that it helps reduce the NHS costs. And helps people return to work, maybe who are always also suffering from early onset of dementia, can head back to work and boost the economy that particular way as well. So you would have all done the unit on social change, or at least started it by now. And social influence is used to change people's behaviours. There's been many campaigns to reduce the effects of drink driving, especially in young adults. And what a lot of these campaigns do is they look at changing the social norms and what people believe about a particular topic. So you can change attitudes, you can change behaviours by making people aware of what's actually happening, making them aware of these social norms. And one great example of this that you could bring into an answer is in Montana in America. And they carried out a campaign called Most of Us Don't Drink and Drive. What happened was, before the campaign was on, 92% of young adults believed that their peers had drinking at least 2 drinks and driven afterwards, whereas in fact only 20% had. So you can see, people think that the social norm is 92% of people think that people have 2 drinks and go out drinking, whereas in fact it's actually very, very low. So the campaign made people aware of social norms. The posters put up the fact that most people don't drink and drive. They gave these percentages to show that very, very few people actually did this. And as people become more aware of the fact most people don't drink and drive, then people don't do it themselves. And similar ideas have also been used to reduce smoking. But it's all into psychological research because it's all about social change, making people aware of social norms, which you should have covered in the social change unit. Obviously, this will have positive impact on the economy because the health of the nation will improve. If we've got less people drink driving, we'll have lower costs to the NHS in regards to treatment following it. Also, people won't be drinking as much, so they'll be able to get back to work and work a lot more efficiently and benefit the economy that way as well. Also, if it's going to benefit smoking and reduce smoking rates, we're going to get less cancer rates, we're going to have more people at work for longer, which will also benefit the economy.